Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. You can follow me on X, Twitter at Movies TV Mad, and on Instagram and on Threads at Movies TV Mad X. A very warm welcome to Wednesday. It's Wednesday already. Well, it's actually Tuesday where I'm recording this today, but this will go up on Wednesday. So welcome, a very warm welcome to Wednesday's edition of the Movies TV Mad Daily. Today, the box office isn't our problem. Isn't your problem? Isn't my problem. As a movie content creator, someone who talks about movies and TV and entertainment, sometimes I have to talk about it, but I don't worry about it. I don't care about it. It isn't our fucking problem. It's theirs. When I was a kid growing up, when I watched Superman 78, did I go, oh, I wonder how the box office for that was? No. When I was in my teens, did I worry about box office? No. In my 20s? No. In my 30s? Not even in my 40s. But you lot, you're obsessed with the box office, all panicking because Furiosa, the Mad Max spin-off, has flopped. You're worried. You're scared. Have you thought for one moment, maybe this current Hollywood system as it is, imploding, burning to the ground, could be the best thing that could ever happen to movies and television? You can't say that, Mick. It'll be a terrible thing. What these horrible people who blame you for what's going on in their industry. We have writers complaining on X Twitter that it's quiet out there, that they're not getting work. This has been a thing ever since the strikes, because all those new rights they got, they've been implemented, and that's the problem. But basically the reason it's quiet out there, because all your studios and networks and streamers are on their knees financially. They're bankrupt, everyone. They're fucked, everyone. You and I should be celebrating this. Brie Larson got on a podium. If you're a guy, and she said, you're a problem. You're a problem. You know how you paid her back? You went to see her movie and it made over $1 billion according to them. Beard. That's how they treat us. The modern new Hollywood. Don't they deserve to burn to the ground? But basically, back to my original point, the box office isn't our problem. But everyone's panicking or trying to act like everything is okay. I like this cut. I like the modern coat from the industry and the people kissing their backsides. Well, movies, not everyone used to go to movies. What? Oh, that's the new one now, is it? It's fine. These box offices are fine. It ain't fine, and a hell of a lot of people used to go and watch movies. That's bullshit. That's cope. But again, it isn't our problem. The only thing we should worry about is what we're going to go and see and when we're going to go and see it. And if we enjoyed it or not. And if we don't, shrug our shoulders, move on. But everyone talks about box office. If I mention my favourite movie, or if I mention Man of Steel or a Snyder movie, it flopped at the box office. It sucked. Just because Masters of the Universe, starring Dolph Lundgren and Frank Langella, was a flop, a disaster in the box office, doesn't mean I hate it. Something being a flop, why is it my problem? Why should I care because a movie's a flop? You know, Mick, that movie you liked was a flop. So am I supposed to not like it? Am I supposed to not like Ang Lee's Hulk? A masterpiece as far as I'm concerned, because it flopped at the box office. Why should I give a shit? I don't give a shit. You shouldn't give a shit. But Furiosa's an interesting flop, because it's a well-made flop. Everyone's saying how brilliant it is. But here's the thing. From the moment they announced that Charlize Theron wouldn't be continuing in this role, in this movie, because guess what? We don't have many movie stars out there today. And even an idiot like me, who doesn't even work within this fucking industry, right? Hollywood, I mean. I act, I direct, I write, but on an amateur level. So, not part of their world, thankfully. And I wouldn't want to be after what I've experienced. But anyway, so Charlize Theron is a movie star. There's not many of them about. I bet you everything you own, right? I bet you a PS5 that I'd love to have right now because I haven't got one, and a lovely brand new TV that ticks all the boxes, right? Right, made in China. I'm very diverse. But yeah, I bet you any money, if Charlize Theron was starring in this movie, it would have made more money. People ain't going to go and see the cast of this movie. People don't care about Chris Hemsworth as a villain. I even forgot what the lead is called. Really fine actor. A really fine female actor she is. I forgot her name. You know how good I am with names. But yeah, she's really good, but she's not a puller. She doesn't pull you to watch something. You know, you didn't go and watch the Mario movie because she played Princess Peach, right? You watched it because Mario. You want to see Mario. That's the point. But, so, I'll be honest with you. I've never seen a Mad Max film before. I don't know the role Charlize Theron played. But I think if I've got it right, Charlize Theron did play Furiosa, I can't even say that name properly, in Mad Max Fury Road. Am I correct there? Okay. But this is supposed to be a younger version of her. Am I correct? I think so. As I say, didn't see the movie, haven't seen any Mad Max movies. So, all they had to do was reduce the age slightly, go to a place where it could have still been Charlize Theron. Charlize Theron is a superstar. She's a phenomenal actor. Even Kevin Feige realised that when he got her to cameo in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness and plan a character for her. Yes, it would have been another tiresome girl boss. That probably wouldn't have been any good. But Charlize Theron is a pull. And I think if Charlize Theron would have been in Furiosa, then I think that would have made more money. I think you could be looking at a 500 million global box office. That would have been okay. But this is a disaster. Because, and then you have to ask the question, you know, was Furiosa the type of movie people wanted to see? Here's the truth. No. People want to see Mad Max, but we had woke access media saying, who needs Mad Max when you've got Furiosa? Well, it looks like you all need Mad Max. But this is the problem. They're trying to tick every box. So with every male lead, there has to be a female lead. The Mad Max movie did well. People wanted to watch Mad Max, but they didn't want to watch Furiosa. So now we've got this kind of autopsy again. We spoke about this around this time last week. So this is autopsy. Why didn't the general audience go and watch Furiosa? The general audience suck ass. That's what these people are saying. Artists, comic book artists, people who work in Hollywood, they're so annoyed that you didn't go and watch a female, a strong woman. They're very, very angry with you and they're attacking you, the general audience. Shall I tell you something? Shall I let you into a little secret? You probably don't know this, I'll tell you. Breaking news. The general audience no longer exists. There is no general audience. Generally, people are not going to watch movies anymore. Your Joe and Jane blogs, they're not going to watch movies anymore. Their kids are not going to watch movies anymore. You know why parents don't sit there with kids anymore? Because they feel you, New Hollywood, are trying to brainwash them and put dodgy things in their heads. I'm not saying that's true. I'm just telling you how people that I speak to, parents, young parents, see you in Hollywood. I keep on telling you, the game is up. We all know you now. You've damaged your own business. It was a business we loved, creatives and consumers standing together, loving each other. Constructive criticism always, of course, but we loved you. And old Hollywood loved us because they would make great stuff. They had pride in making something that would uplift our hearts. And we go and see it, and we come out of the cinema. Wow, that was amazing. When I saw Ghost, I was still crying. My date was crying in my arms. French au pair. Wow, what a date that was. But anyway, wow. But they don't believe in uplifting the audience. They've actually said they don't have to make good movies. It's about what they want to do. How's that working out for you? You see, But the box office isn't your problem. It isn't your worry. It's theirs. They're the ones. You know, Mick, if there's no more Hollywood, there's no more movies. That's not true. That is not true. It's an opportunity to rebuild the entertainment industry, as I said before, outside of California. By the 10% of good people who still exist in that fucking nut house, in that Arkham Asylum. And they can go outside of California and a bunch of them can build a brand new United Artists studio. And I'm happy to be their consultant, to show them the fan perspective, the consumer perspective. I'm happy to do that. I would like to build my own studio, but I don't have the knowledge or experience or finance to do it. And oh boy, I know exactly what I do, and I've already told you what I would do. And it would work on a small scale, on an art house scale, not on $1 billion box office scale. This has got to end. One of the biggest things that hurt Hollywood was becoming a conveyor belt, a factory that just made TV shows, movies, every year. 10, 20 movies, rushing to the finish line, which makes your movies crap. They're still polishing off movies a week before they're going to be released. That's no good, everyone. There's got to be small art houses. Listen to me, there's got to be small art houses where everyone's able to take their time so they can bring their finest game. Acting, writing, production design, it all takes time. And when you rush it, it's not going to be as good as it could have been. There should be no schedules. There should not be early release dates. Take your time. Make one film every 3 or 4 years. But Mick, that's not good for a business. It has to change. The business has to change. It can't be your supermarket making 200 million cans of soup so they never run out. It shouldn't be about that. Work on a movie. Take your time. Work on a TV show. Take your time. Don't early schedule it. Don't tell them when you're going to put it out there at first. Take your time. Get it right. Mold your clay. This should be a place where beauty is made, where art is made. Not a place that's going, right, we need 200 million soaps or they're going to run out and people won't be clean. That's what the entertainment industry should never have been. And that's what's damaging it. Someone keeps on showing off, oh, well, Endgame made money at the same time of this year when it was released. Endgame made a lot of money. But also, the MCU is part of the problem. It made Hollywood a bigger conveyor belt, a bigger factory than it already was. And everyone tried to compete. And they all killed each other. They tried to compete with Disney Plus. They tried to compete with Netflix. They tried to compete with the MCU. And where did it get them? They're all sitting on their asses now. And we have no good entertainment. They allowed crazy fucking lunatics, to go in. Demolition Man tried to warn us. Demolition Man told us what happens when a bunch of Arkham Asylum woke nut jobs run the world. Happy, joy. You swore, that's 1,000 credits. Oh, you still have sex. Well, at your time, you still exchange bodily fluids. We do it with machines or whatever they do, right? That's what they want. That's what these lunatics want. If you were born in 2009, you won't be able to ever smoke a cigarette legally. What's wrong with that, Mick? What's next? A fry-up? No beer? If you were born in 2009, no wine, no vodka Red Bull, no sex. How far are these bastards going to take us? Look what they've done to our entertainment. Look what they've done to our comic books. Look what they've done to gaming. They're lunatics, everyone. We are living in this fucking world. We can see what they've done. They've killed movies. It's not exciting to watch movies anymore. It is not exciting to talk about movies anymore. In 2013, like the Snyderverse or not, when Man of Steel was launched, after that movie, I was fucking excited. And when they announced BVS, it was awesome. Then Justice League, then Cyborg, which never happened, then Flash, which unfortunately did happen. It was exciting. But it was exciting to hear about the little independent movies. Where are they? What have we got now? The next strong female lead. Tom Holland and an actress of colour played Romeo and Juliet, I think in Broadway. I think that's where it was. They did a review where they said the white guy, Tom Holland, was crap, but the diverse Juliet, they called her, basically they said a star is born. Have you ever heard saying bigoted or racist? They literally said, they could have said both of them were great, but they said he was shit and she was good. You know why they said she was good. You know why. Because we allowed a bunch of lunatics to dictate to us, and now we don't have entertainment. We don't have anything good anymore. We can't do what we want. We can't think what we want. Soon they'll have machines to read our minds. If I have one bad fault in my head, they'll see it and they'll arrest me. Just like Minority Report, right? They were arresting people for thinking about killing people. Imagine that. How many people a day, right, do you think, oh God, I want to kill you. Well, one day they'll be able to, AI will be able to, AI is coming, everyone. We'll all be shagging AI robots. Oh, what fun. Better than nothing, I suppose. But one day they'll be arresting you for what you're thinking. You're cancelled these days for what you're thinking. They've cancelled Richard Dreyfuss because he said something racist at a premiere of Jaws. I don't know if it's a recent one, all those years, I don't know. If the guy said something racist or homophobic or bigoted, it's bad. But I ain't cancelling the guy forever. He's a dumb old man, but a legendary actor. People make mistakes. People say dumb shit. I don't know why you would say stuff like that out loud. I don't know. I don't understand either. But I think the world, people are so angry at each other, they say stupid things for attention. Dumb stuff. I don't agree with racism or bigotry. I want to enjoy my movies. I want to enjoy my entertainment. But I'm not consuming modern day entertainment anymore. I'm still watching Doctor Who because I told you before I want to like Doctor Who. Even though I'm not enjoying RTD2. I'm still watching it and I want to talk about it. I can't turn my back. It's very difficult for me to turn my back on Doctor Who. But the next time, I haven't been. Have I been to the, I can't even remember. But I don't think I've been to the cinema this year. The next time I will go to the cinema will be to watch Joker Follier do. You know why? Because I trust Todd Phillips not to gaslight me. To make something unique and original. And again, for those of you moaning it's a musical, the foundations of great old Hollywood began with musicals. All the best movies were musicals back in the day. There's nothing wrong with taking a comic book movie and making it a musical. And when you've got someone musically talented, musically literate, like Lady Gaga, it's a great thing. Because you know it's going to be great. And that lady, Hilda, whose surname I can't pronounce, who composed the soundtrack for the first film, is doing it again. I think she's composing the songs as well. Wow. There's nothing to worry about. There'll be just as much narrative and, dialogue as there is songs. Don't worry about that. I don't even think there'll be many, many, many songs. It's kind of a musical, it's kind of not. But still, you shouldn't let that put you off. It'll be interesting, everyone, if the fact it's a musical puts you off. If it puts you off, you're a little bit silly. Because I think it's about I think musicals should come back in. I think Hollywood lost a lot from turning their backs from musicals. Back in the day, if you didn't perform at vaudeville, if you didn't perform in Broadway, you couldn't even get in to make movies and television in Hollywood the way it should have been. Now they let anyone in, as long as they got, DNA, check. Oh no, you're a Greek Cypriot, mate. Anglo, born in England, Greek Cypriot. Sorry, you can't perform here in Hollywood. I mean, you may be a good actor, but we don't care. It's all about the DNA, right? So don't worry about box office. It's not your problem. If they burn to the ground, if this industry burns to the ground, it is not your fault. Do not listen to them. They're blaming us. It is not our fault. It is not our responsibility to hold these bastards up. They are horrible, nasty people, most of them. As I say, there's a good 10% there that I respect. But when an industry is attacking men, when an industry is firing people for saying, I support Palestine, free Palestine, if you can get fired just for that, you know, people just being open about their views, being fired if they don't have the same mindset as everyone else in Hollywood, there's a problem, everyone. There's a problem. And it should burn to the ground. It should. And if that's its destiny, if that's Hollywood's destiny, to finish, to be destroyed, because they're on their knees now, all of them, they're in big, big trouble. And it will be interesting what happens to Superman a year a year this July. It will be very interesting because there's a lot of kind of boasting by James Gunn's stands, and there's a lot of, the other day he posted something telling us to read a Wonder Woman comic. He's cleverly trying to bring people back to comics. He can't do that. James Gunn, you can't save comics. Maybe you'll point out the odd good comic, if it is a good comic, and people read it, and then you'll brag about bringing people back to comics, but then they leave again. Because comics have been destroyed, like gaming and movies and television and streaming. Because nobody cares about your ideology. I care about all these women bringing up children on their own in council estates under terrible circumstances. I care about people in the third world starving, while you in Hollywood are donating to Black Lives Matter, basically founded by someone who lives in a mansion in a lovely, or Me Too, founded by rich people who are not interested in men being sexualized and sexually abused. Only certain women. Interesting, isn't it? And now it's all burning down for them. You're the ones who did this, Hollywood. You're the ones who did this. You attacked us. You attacked the main foundation of your customer base. You decided to have strong gal bosses. How is that working out? How many of those films have become successful? Because you thought people would watch you no matter what you said. But you gaslit people. And then people like Geeks and Gamers and Nerd Roddick rose up from the ashes. And it hurts, doesn't it? That those type of people are hurting your bottom line and educating people about what you're really about. But you think those people are the problem because of how they vote. Well, I don't care how people vote, because if they're speaking common sense and I feel they're on my side, the consumer's side, I'm going to listen. Nobody can brainwash anyone. I'll listen. I'll listen to anyone. I don't care if I don't agree with them politically. It isn't I don't care. I should be able to respect an opposing opinion and listen carefully to an opposing opinion and say, right, this is the reason I don't agree with you, A, B, and C. And then the other person should say, okay, let's just agree, shake hands, agree to disagree. But we're not doing that anymore. We're becoming enemies just because we disagree about a movie or disagree about football or disagree about anything. I'm not interested in making enemies because you don't agree with me. If you come at me, I'll just mute you and move on. I'm not interested. Not interested. Either you shake my hand and say, Mick, you're cool, agree to disagree, I don't care. I'm not here to make enemies. I'm here to make my point. So you can keep on making excuses about why Hollywood's failing. Release strategies, marketing. Some of you people think marketing is hypnosis. It's not. Their marketing isn't any good anymore. And just wait and see till Deadpool and Wolverine comes out and most probably makes 100 million domestically in its opening weekend. Everyone's going to go, you see all the scaremongering? Hollywood is saved. Cinemas are saved. By the way, AMC Cinemas nearly went bankrupt and they just recently got saved. That's how bad the situation is. That's the reality. It is not our fault. People are not going. People are boycotting cinemas, boycotting Hollywood for a reason. Because you attack their sons. You attack their fathers. You attack their grandsons. Do you understand? You attack boys, but by attacking men, you also attack women. Because every boy and man came out of a woman's womb. And that woman is going to be upset with you for attacking their boys. Do you understand when you say it's all men? You're attacking those women as well. This is the problem when you start on one section of society. And it's wrong, whoever you start on. This is what Hollywood did. They put their ideology out there for everybody to see. And the public and the general audience, when they did exist, because they don't exist, I've explained that to you already, said no. No! Oh, no, you don't. I'm not going to give you my money. You're not going to give me shit. I'm not your fucking servant. Give me stuff that uplifts my heart, that makes me cry, that breaks my heart, and I'll happily go to the cinema. I'm not talking about myself and everybody else. But if you don't do that and you continue to fire hatred at women's sons and women's grandsons and women's nephews, then women won't go to cinemas either. Do you understand what's going on here? All those Hollywood females who think women, they're speaking for working class women, they hate you. They're with us because they gave birth to us. Do you understand? Do you understand how stupid you are? How your ideology and your mentality doesn't work in the outside world? I've said for a long time that Hollywood can't write women. Hollywood female writers can't write women, nor can the males. Because how can you write for a gender when you've only met Californian women who are not real women at the end of the day? They don't live in the real fucking world. They don't struggle. They don't know what it's like to raise 5 kids on a council estate. They don't know what it's like not to know where the next meal is coming from. And they think they're representing you, ladies. They think they're representing you, girls. No, they're not. I know loads of women, loads of females. I don't hate women. I love women for many, many reasons. I love men, I love everyone. Unless they go out to hurt someone I love or something like that, or they're really bad people, right? I love everyone. And I don't judge people on their groups. I judge people on the individual, the power of their heart. That's how we should judge people. But the very people who keep on reminding you about the Second World War are the very people who are acting like the bloke who started the Second World War. Once you start attacking groups of people and spread propaganda and extremism about them, you're just as bad as the person who started the Second World War. And that's exactly what Gina Carano was trying to say, and that's why they fired her. Because Gina Carano spoke the truth, and I don't give a shit if she's right-wing. I don't care. I'm not. She is. I don't care. I'm not even saying she's Vivian Leigh or anything, or she's the greatest of actors, because clearly the woman isn't. But she was okay in The Mandalorian. She worked on The Mandalorian. It did work. It was a good idea. And what she said was bang on, comparing them to the person who started the Second World War, and they didn't like it. Of course, you can't mention that to those people. And then they'll accuse you of being a bigot, or an ist, or an ism. That's how they protect themselves. That's how they've always protected themselves. But we know you now. So don't worry about box office. It's not your problem. Let them suffer. They'll boast about, Deadpool and Wolverine, but that's just a temporary status. They are dying, everyone. They are in trouble. Because once you attack the customer, I worked in supermarkets and stores, lots of places as a young man. And the motto that every one of those companies had, the customer is always right. Now, of course, the customer is not always right. Maybe never hardly right. But that's the pretense. You've got to keep up. Hello, sir. Hello, madam. How can I help you? I don't like the service I've got in this shop. I'm very sorry, madam. In your head, you're thinking, you tosser, you twat. But you're polite. And then they come back for more because you were polite. But when you have an industry saying, we don't like a section of our customers, what do you think's going to happen? It's not just the men are not going to be coming in. As I say, it's their mothers, it's their aunts, it's their grandmothers. But you don't understand. All you had to do was do what you did from the 1920s. Uplift your audience with beautiful art. But you couldn't do that. You had to start dictating to us, people who have broken every law of humanity, created abuse, done things that I can't even mention on this platform, lecturing us. And this is why Ricky Gervais said what he said that day. Because he wasn't joking. It was in the guise of humour, and it was funny, but he knew he was leaving LA and leaving Hollywood at that point. So he left. And before he left, he told them the truth. You aren't in any position to be lecturing the public. And you're not. Your job is to entertain us, then shut the fuck up.